Introduction to Before Babylon. The language that worried the warlords, Yawa. The language before Babylon was so strong and cohesive it was described as brick and sticky mortar, as the story of the Tower of Babel uses metaphor to describe its strength. The local warlords, Yawa, was so concerned of all men being unified by a single language that they had to stop it, or this group of men could resist them. With the city, which in those days was a fortress, and a common language, with all men would guarantee successful trade and unification against warlords, Yawa. Before Babylon puts together what the author believes to have re-engineered through ancient pictographs of the Semitic region of the Middle East, grouping pictographs in a solid and cohesive structure through meaning and color. This book brings back what was lost so long ago because of warlords, Yawa, that sought to divide and conquer. There is 22 pictographs that had evolved into the Hebrew letters, and the symbolic meanings of those letters help us to understand what was lost or confused. The pictographs themselves preserve the lost or confused meanings. The color multiplies the meanings of a single pictograph. Before Babylon uses the colors black, blue, green, red, and yellow to differentiate between a dictate, which is black, a suggestion, that is blue, an appearance, which is green, an opposite, which is red, and a personality, which is yellow. The first three colors of black, blue, and green giving the basic three different meanings of any given symbol. And with the color red to highlight each of the three colors makes for 6 different meaning types, being 3 positive and 3 negative, so to speak, which makes for a minimum of 132 basic meanings from 22 symbols, each of the 132 meanings having multiple synonyms and antonyms. No doubt this long-lost language was more than adequate for a civilization with the level of technology of the time considered. The yellow can also be applied as a highlight to show a personality meaning. The Enneagram of personality reveals the so-called 7 deadly sins in their opposing personalities. Along with the 7 deadly sin personalities are also 2 other vices, being fear and deception, for a total of 9 basic human negative personalities and 9 basic human positive personalities. There is so much to look at, so let's get started and take a look at the language that worried the warlords, Yawa, as recorded in the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verses 6 through 7. Let's also take a look at "In the beginning was the Logos." It is written in the book of John, chapter 1, verse 1, "In the beginning was the Logos, and the Logos was with God, and the Logos was God." Now, you're probably not familiar with the fact the Greek word logos is the word translated as word in that Bible verse, but it certainly is, and certainly points to the ancient pictographs or logos. The pictograph or logo of the bull's head was symbolic of the bull deity A, with the phonetic sound of eh, often referred to as L, even though L is actually an extension of eh. L is more properly an object or person that is claimed or believed to be a tool or worker, meaning a physical or passive-aggressive form of leadership. Of A, the bull deity representation, such as a scepter or a priest, with the inference of being a god leader. The bull priests were also referred to as giants in the English versions of Genesis 6, verse 4. The underlying Hebrew word that was translated as giants was the word nephil. That means bully or tyrant. The first use of El, translated as God, was in Genesis 14:18, and shows the reference is that Melchizedek is being referred to as the Kohen, or priest, Elyon El, meaning Kohen, the Most High God, and it infers Kohen, the Most High God leader. Genesis 14:19, Abram is also referred to as Elyon El, meaning Abram, the Most High God, and infers Abram, the Most High God leader. Genesis 14:20, Elyon El is referred to as Asherah, the Most High God Asherah, and infers the Most High God leader Asherah. Genesis 14:22, Melech, or king of Sodom, is also referred to as an El, as in El-Melech, and actually infers God leader Melech. Yahweh is referred to as Elyon El in the same sequence as Melchizedek and Abram, El Yahweh the Most High, and infers God leader Yahweh the Most High. Yahweh is the name of a warlord deity of the Canaanite pantheon. You're probably familiar with the Canaanite people being called the Canaanites. And the Canaanites is more of a Greek name than the original Hebrew name. With the name Yahweh being related to the title Lord, and the title Lord being either a deity or a person connected by the names Yahweh or Adonai. In Genesis 16:13, Hagar called on Shem Yahweh, which would be the spirit of the warlord Shem, who was the son of Noah. The first use of Adonai as the title Lord is found in Genesis 15:2 in reference to Yahweh. Abram was referred to as Adonai in Genesis 23:11 as the title Lord. The difference between the two Adonais is that the Yahweh Lord reference has the symbol or logos of Y added to the end, which indicates the work or hand of Lord, or a direct connection to the A, the bull deity representation or logos of the bull deity. ADNY equals bull deity representation enters life or activity directly. The Adonai reference without the ending Y indicates an activity or life of a Lord and an indirect connection to A, the bull deity representation. ADN equals bull deity representation enters life or activity. All told here is that logos have been important since the beginning and was the beginning. And actually, the very first representation of God was in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, in what has been portrayed as in the beginning, and is actually better translated as into person, God nutrition to make complete, as will be brought forth here in the book Before Babylon.